Please help me welcome Advanced Communicator Silver, Advanced Leader Silver, Tammy Takahashi.
In the African rainforest, on the Ivory Coast, in Tai National Park, a community of chimpanzees forage among the fruit trees and the nut trees and a generously flowing river. It was springtime, and many of the female chimpanzees had babies. The researchers named one of those babies Oscar, and they named his mother Isha. For the first 3 months of Oscar's life, Isha and Oscar were inseparable. Isha would carry Oscar under her arm, or sit him in her lap, or he would ride around on her back. For the first 3 years of Oscar's life, Isha and Oscar were together, teaching him how to live and survive in the African forest. Chimpanzees will stay with their mothers until they are about 10 or 11 years old, when they are finally ready to live in the forest by themselves. When Oscar was just 3 years old, tragedy struck. Another community of chimpanzees wanted to have access to their plentiful fruit trees and nut trees and attacked their colony. All of the females and the children scattered while the males fought out the battle. The battle went all through the night, and Oscar hid in a tree until it was over. The next morning, Oscar went looking for Isha. He called out for her, he looked for her, and he could not find her. He looked some more, and he could not find her. For 3 days, he looked for his mother, and he could not find her. Finally, he slowly and sadly went back to the rest of the colony, very hungry since he had not been with his mother to help feed him, asking for help in the way that chimpanzees do, by basically grabbing for food and wanting to eat. The other chimpanzees pushed him away. So he went around to the other side and tried to grab some food from the other chimpanzees, and the mothers pushed him away. In chimpanzee life, if a baby is orphaned, generally one of the older brothers or sisters or a grandfather, grandmother, or an aunt or uncle will take care of the baby. But in Oscar's case, he was Isha's first baby, and there were no other family members that were available to take care of Oscar. And so they all pushed him away. For a week, he went without food, looking around for a way to survive, but he was too little to do it on his own. And then he happened upon a lone chimpanzee sitting on a large tree root, cracking open a kula nut with a rock. He cracked open the nut and put the nut aside. Oscar tentatively went to grab the nut to take it to eat it, and the other chimpanzee did nothing and let him have it. This chimpanzee's name was Freddie, and Freddie happened to be the alpha male of the chimpanzee colony. Oscar followed Freddie around for days. Whenever Freddie would leave some food to the side, he would grab it, and Freddie would let Oscar eat it. And this is how Oscar survived for a few weeks, following Freddie around. And then something miraculous happened. Oscar attempted to walk up Freddie's arm and ride on his back. And Freddie let him do it. Now this is miraculous because in the chimpanzee world, according to Jane Goodall's research notes, in her 50 years of studying chimpanzees, she has never once seen an alpha male take care and nurture a baby chimpanzee. Alpha males, their job is to protect the colony. They don't nurture the babies. But the fact that he let Oscar ride on his back was an indication that Freddie allowed Oscar he accepted the role of primary caregiver for Oscar. And this is extraordinary. So for months, Oscar hung around Freddie, and Freddie carried him around, and Freddie taught him the skills necessary to survive in the wild, little by little. This went on for several months. And then one day, Freddie, out of the blue for what seemed like no reason, pushed Oscar aside. Oscar tried to ride on his back, tried to learn from him to eat the food. Freddie pushed him aside. Oscar could not figure out what was going on. He tried and he tried to connect with Freddie, and Freddie kept pushing him aside. So Oscar climbed up a tree and sat and watched Freddie from on top of a tree. Then all of the alpha males started coming around Freddie, and they started grooming each other. And for several days, the alpha males were grooming each other for hours and hours and hours. Well, it turns out that Freddie and all of the alpha males, they were preparing for battle, because that other colony of chimpanzees was planning an invasion again. And Freddie had been spending so much time with Oscar as primary caregiver, he had neglected the relationships that he had with the other alpha males. And chimpanzees, in order to fight, in order to protect their domain, the males have to work together as a team, and they have to spend time grooming one another. So Freddie was pushing Oscar aside so that he could reconnect with those other males. But Oscar did not understand this, and he kept looking from above. A few nights after this happened, the other colony of chimpanzees attacked. And all of the children and the female chimpanzees went into the trees. The battle was fierce. There was fur flying everywhere, scratching, biting, screeching. The chimpanzees screech. And once again, Oscar was faced with the possibility that he might be orphaned. The battle lasted all night, and then suddenly, silence. It was pitch dark, and Oscar stayed in the tree waiting. In the morning, he slowly walked down the tree, climbed down the tree, and looked around, and he didn't see Freddie. He walked around some more, and he went around a big tree, and he saw on the other side there was Freddie waiting for him. Tentatively, he approached Freddie and started walking up his arm. Freddie didn't do anything. He walked all the way up to his back and sat there. Freddie got up and started walking away with Oscar on his back. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, and friends, this miracle, this extraordinary event of an alpha male taking on a baby chimpanzee is what saved Oscar's life and allowed Oscar to now be a full-fledged adult in this community of chimpanzees in the African rainforest, on the Ivory Coast, in the Tai National Park. Madam Toastmaster.
Before I announce who got Best Speaker, I have to say this person is a jack of all trades. We've heard speeches on her learning how to speak French, reading Yoshi, being with her kids. She has published 2 books that you can buy on Amazon on homeschooling. She is an Area C33 governor and a Division C governor. And soon she'll be moving up to district officer level within the new Toastmaster year as long as we get enough votes at the spring conference. She's helping me chair the spring conference. She does a lot. She joined this club back in 2007. And she is the 5th distinguished Toastmaster in this club. Please help me welcome Best Speaker Takahashi.
Well, I've known Tammy now for about 3 years? 2 years? About 3 years? And there's one thing that Tammy and I have in common that maybe you guys don't know. And also, whenever I tell my friends who are not Toastmasters that I'm going to a Toastmaster meeting, they go, do you guys eat toast? What do you guys do? Well, Tammy, in honor of your DTM and in honor of Toastmasters, I've made you a piece of toast. just want to say thanks for being a great friend and thank you for being a DTM.
Crocheted piece of toast. I'd like to just say a little thing, is that okay?
Yes.
I'd like to accept this award. Tonight is so special for me, as you all know. And it's special because I earned my DTM, but it's also special because of all of you sitting in this room here with me tonight. It's because of you helping me, working with me, that I was able to achieve this. My appreciation goes out to every single one of you sitting here tonight, helping me this past 6 years, achieving this. To all of the members of Open House, you've been here encouraging me and supporting me throughout all of my speeches, while I was president for 2 years during my various roles in the club as officers. You've been here for me. Thank you all. Open House Toastmasters, thank you so much. And for those Toastmasters who came here tonight, who are not normally here on open house meetings, but you have seen me in many other places in Toastmasters, thank you for taking time out tonight to come and witness this. You are a special part of my Toastmasters experience as well. You've helped me in the district. You've helped me through some very difficult challenges with contests and my HPL and leadership things in the district. And starting a new club, all these difficult district level challenges, you've been there for me, encouraging me and telling me to keep going. And I really appreciate all that. Thank you so much to all of my Toastmaster friends. And to my family, my close friends and my family, thank you so much for being there for me while I blather on about Toastmasters. And you've never been to a Toastmaster club, and yet you still encourage me and support me as I go on and on about all of my Toastmaster related things. I appreciate you being there. I love you all. Thank you so much. And I'd like to ask you all a favor tonight before you leave. Please give me a hug.
Even consider not being part of this, a really big part. Don't go on and just, okay. Okay, good. All right, so here we go. We've got a lot of guests. I'd like to thank you all for coming again. District Governor Linda, thank you very much. Tammy Young, thank you very much for coming. Carolyn Cousins Golden, thank you very much.